In part two, basically, is that a lot of times we know intuitively what we already need to do, right? Most times we already know. You, me, the next person, we all know deep down what we should be doing. But a lot of times we have people in our life, the environment, the stimulation, habits, all this stuff going on that distracts us from our own inner voice. So even though our inner voice may say to do one thing, we may actually be in the habit of doing another thing, right? So, for example, like if you're going to a coffee shop, there's a good chance you might get the thought to go get a cup of coffee, right? But if you go to a different shop, you probably wouldn't get that thought because you wouldn't have coffee in that shop, right? And so whatever it is, when it comes to habits, to be patient with ourselves and let ourselves kind of be. Remember one thing, Greg Braden talked about, one of the guys that I love watching, his documentary series, Ancient Origins on Gaia. He was on YouTube as well, and he has some great books about spirituality and evolution of consciousness and all this stuff. And one of the things he says, at home, I like to eat from the garden, or I like to eat, my normal routine from my groceries or whatever. But when I'm traveling, I do the best I can with what is available. I do the best I can with what is available, right? And so I'm sitting there to myself, like, I want to do bananas in a smoothie right now, but I'm here in a coffee shop. So what am I gonna do? I'll get a bagel and a coffee. I'll do the coffee decaf, and I'll do the bagel with honey. That's fine. I may want the banana in the smoothie, but you know what? We're here. That's the best option. So let's go for it. We don't have to judge ourselves. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to, think anything's wrong with us, because I can keep this habit perfect, and just realize that, we just gotta do the best we can with what we have. It's in life is not so serious, and we don't have to beat ourselves up for not being who we think we're supposed to be, right? We can simply just be as we are, and sometimes that lesson's not easy to, realize. Sometimes we want ourselves to be a certain way, and we just can't be that every second. But that's what it is, man. So that's what I really love. When I saw Greg Braden, talk about that, was to just let yourself get the best option. And it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Like if you want to work out every day, that's your goal. I need to get in the gym, but you don't have a gym membership. What do? You know what? Let me just do 5 push-ups right now. But I don't have a gym. A lot of times we get stuck in analysis paralysis. We get stuck in, I don't have all the circumstances. I don't have all the conditions met. I don't have all these needs. I don't have the money. I don't have the equipment. I don't have this, right? And we subconsciously, we may not even be aware, but we have a belief blocking us from just doing the closest thing. Sometimes, like with working out, okay, you don't have a gym, do a push-up, right? Just do 1 push-up, just 1. Not 50, just do 1, and really just be patient with yourself. Like, think about it. If you just do, maybe you should do at least 5 or 10, but let's just say you do 5 or 10. Do 1 is fine, but if you do 10 push-ups, 5 push-ups, 1 push-up, even just 1 push-up a day, and then you do it again tomorrow, eventually you're going to do, maybe I can do 5. Eventually you'll get that thought, maybe not be day 1. And then eventually you're like, I've been doing push-ups for 10 days. At some point I'll get let me get a dumbbell set for all. But you don't get that thought in the beginning because it's too big to believe. You think, I just can't hit the gym because I don't have a gym membership. And then we get stuck in this rut, these patterns of, I can't do this because I don't have this and I can't have it. And we realize we can just start the smallest way possible. Just set the bar really low for today, right? And we think, no, but I'm better than this. I should have the full gym. I should do the max bench press, 180 million pounds. And no, it's like, you may get there. I think that may be the goal. But to hit a goal, to hit a result, it's only by compounding habits and developing skills. It's only skills and habits, that's it, right? So it's not the goal and I should already be there. It's, what skills do I need to develop, and what habits do I have to create, and how small can I start, right? If I'm gonna say, I need to run. You know what, I haven't ran in a while. What do I do? Well, think to myself, maybe I'll just walk today. Don't even try to run, because you think, I gotta run a full lap, and then if you might not keep that pace, right? So you wanna go at a pace you can keep, okay? Go at a pace you can keep, start by just walking. Walk, in PE class in high school, we did what's called a walk jog. Do a walk jog. Do a walk jog. You say, I gotta do it for an hour. Your goal might be an hour. But today, you may just do 10 minutes. Because the point is not to be perfect. The point is to stay in a momentum cycle. The point is to stay in your flow. The point is to trust yourself. The point is to love yourself and have fun with this. It doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, just start and have fun. Like, it doesn't have to be this thing, oh, I need to be the toughest person in the world, the smartest person, the best looking, the best money. Like, just start and realize that the only thing that really matters is that you feel good and that you're enjoying your life. That's really what matters most at the end of the day. And I know some of us, we have such high expectations on ourselves that we really expect ourselves to be perfect all the time, and we think we can't even start without even having the perfect conditions met, right? You know, and that's straight up. You know, I like to make videos with a whiteboard behind me too, and maybe you might like to have a microphone, and you might like to have a certain. Sometimes when you have an idea for a video, you just gotta make it, right? Sometimes if you know, another thing with working out, I got this thought the other day, was like, you know, you have workout times, but sometimes you need to work out between the workouts, right? You know, maybe if you are doing, let's say, sales, right? You have a sales call time, but do you do sales calls within the sales calls, right? And so I think a lot of times in this entrepreneurship niche, whatever, everyone always talks about success. Everyone talks about, you know, being like better than the next person, and like, you know, you need to do more work, you need to work harder, you need to take this more serious. And I think a lot of times it's really not that serious. Now look, there's some times where maybe we need to get things done, but ultimately, like, you know, use the feeling to your advantage. Like, if you can get to that feeling, one thing I learned from, you know, one of the success, you know, mentorship programs that I learned from, you know, that's created multiple millions of dollars, was that they said there's really two main feelings that you're gonna feel when it comes to success and taking action, right? To get you to take action, CTION, you're going to, you know, experience one, anticipation, right? I mean, you have the feeling of what you want. You feel like it's going to happen. I'm excited to achieve this goal, so that's going to inspire me to take action, and I'm going to have intuitive nudges and impulses to take action on something that is coming from, you know, inspiration, right? Intuition. Action comes from anticipation. How do you get anticipation, right? This is Santa Claus. How do you get anticipation? You gotta feel like Christmas is tomorrow. You gotta feel like your goal is a present that's wrapped under the tree, and you're about to unwrap it. All you gotta do is wake up. Tomorrow's Christmas, right? It's Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas. It's coming. You're in anticipation. You can't even sleep tonight because you're excited. What did Santa get you? You're excited. Okay, that's the first feeling you want to feel. That's the goal. If you can feel that feeling most of the time, all day long, they said the strangest thing in the world is you think about most of the time. So you gotta think about what you want all day long, and you gotta feel good when you think about it. So how do you think about it? You gotta put it in plain sight. You gotta see it somewhere where you can't stop thinking about it. Like you couldn't not think about it if you tried. That's gonna get you into the feeling of anticipation, right? As long as you're making progress. Because you have a goal, it's way out there. Right? It's way out there. You're not going to feel like it can happen unless you're making some progress. So you need to be in a momentum cycle. You need to be believing, you know what, this can happen. I believe I can do this. It's something I can do, right? If you can feel like it can happen, that's going to give you anticipation. When you're in anticipation, you're like on the edge of your seat. Like, I can't wait to take the next action step. I can't wait to do the next phone call. I can't wait to meet the next person. I can't wait to do the next presentation. I can't wait to read the next book. I can't wait to go to the next seminar. I just can't wait to learn just a little bit more because I'm so excited because I feel like I already have my dreams. Right? That's the first feeling you need to feel. The second feeling is anger. Right? So sometimes things are not going our way. Sometimes we are not thinking about what we want. Sometimes we don't even know what we want. Sometimes we're just going through the motion of life, and eventually we're depressed or we're lost, or we're anxious, whatever, and then eventually we get angry. We get pissed off, and we're like, wait a second, I don't like this. I don't want this. And so anger, it can be used in two ways. It can be used in a constructive way. It can be used in a destructive way. Right? Sometimes when we're angry, we start picking fights. People yell, scream, complain, whatever. But if you can use anger to your advantage, it can be one of the greatest tools that you will ever have. And that's if you can use anger, when you get it, to think about and focus on what you actually want. And actually going out there and taking it and just getting so pissed off that you're just I no longer care what people think. I no longer care about rejection. I'm afraid. I'm going to go out there and take what is mine. That's the best way to use anger. But you don't want to try to feel angry. You really want to feel anticipation. You want to feel like what you want's going to happen. But if you do get angry, use it to your advantage, okay? Use your advantage, say, I'm pissed. I'm sick of this. I don't want this. What do I want? What do I want? And then you just get the pen and paper and write it. What do you actually want? And what are you going to do right now? What are you going to do right now, today? Not tomorrow, not when you get the camera, not when you get into the gym, not when you get the raise, not when you get to the better house, the better car. Right now. What are you going to do today, this moment, right now? Anger. And use anger. If you have it, okay? If you have it, use it. Anger, anticipation is going to get you to take action. Anger, anticipation, action. Right? Anger, anticipation, and action. So you got to stay in the momentum cycle. You got to stay in the feeling of what you want and believing that you can achieve it. That's the goal. You need to get to that point where you feel like it's actually going to happen. You got to know what it actually is. For you to feel like it's going to happen, you got to feel good. You got to think about it. And so for you to think about it, you got to know what you want. So you got to be able to think it without even, you got to think about it without even trying. Like, think about, put it so plain, in plain sight, put it on the back of your hand, put it on your wall, put it on your mirror, put it on your door, put it anywhere, and just think about it all day long. And feel good when you think about it. That's the goal. And if you don't know what that goal is, you might get angry. And you might be using anger against yourself. But what if you use anger for yourself? What if you use it in a way to actually get what you want? What if you use anger in a way to go out there and take what you want? What if you did that? Think about that. Right? And that's something you can think about.